we are family. That was the wrong intro, y'all.
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Yo, it's the Starting Five podcast. First of all, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. We got W there, and we also got Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. On the box there, you can see the box. That's the W box, but we got Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. And if you use the code Starting Five, you can get a discount on your orders if you order from them guys. And we're here for another good episode. And what's up, Dan?
What up, fool? What up, everybody? Y'all know who this is. Today, I'm the guy who was a former employee that used to fold Gordon Gartrell shirts. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. And yeah, man, we back with another week of the shits. I want to throw it to O, but O's closet is taking up space for him. And he was the first one here today.
Nah.
What the fuck, TJ?
Nah, I don't believe that shit.
He absolutely was. Ask Tyrone, who was here when he came in.
I came in and saw that. I was shocked. I was like, oh, what's going on? I said, he must have had something to talk about today, boy.
Oh, shit. If O was on time for something, that means I better get my affairs in order because shit's about to end. You know what I'm saying? This dude is never on time.
Well, no. He was on time for the pregame, but he ain't on time for the introduction. So.
What's up, PJ?
What's up, y'all? I'm chilling, Had a good Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like a good Saturday. I haven't said that in a long time, but yesterday was nice. The weather was nice. Met a friend down at South Street Seaport yesterday. Had a nice lunch. Then went to the brewery. I didn't know it was Mike Jones' birthday, but they had a Mike Jones little birthday celebration. That was nice. Went to the little after party after that. Ended up talking to this fine young Muslim chick. She was fine. And then
But you had pork on your breath.
I did. I definitely did. Absolutely. But besides that, it was a good day. It's a good day. Long overdue.
Nigga, last week you had a great Saturday.
What happened?
I said last week you came on saying you had a great Saturday. Shouts out to the family who was at the brewery last week also.
That was a Sunday though.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
2 weeks ago. That was a Sunday. But no, that was a great Sunday. Wish I got to see you, dogs. But It was good. A lot of the family came out. You know what I'm saying? Spoke to Herb last night talking about karaoke. Just need to get a date, either Saturday or Sunday, to make that happen.
Well, I
And
text
get all
Mike
team members on board, and then we're gonna put.
I text Mike this morning just so y'all know. Just so y'all know, I'll say it now. Hip hop karaoke is coming back, and it's coming back to Hackensack Brewery. No more on Staten Island because Staten Island. But the brothers up there, shout out to Mike and Herb, and the rest of everybody else who's partners in that. I know Mike and Herb are the
Yeah,
main two that we know for sure. I know there's a third, but I forget the brother's name.
there's two other
But
guys. There's Al and I forgot the other dude's name, but there's two other dudes. Yes.
there we go. But Mike and Herb, they were at the first one that we did on Staten Island. And like TJ mentioned, the weekend that I wasn't there at the brewery, these brothers was talking about bringing it back. And then I called KB earlier this week, and KB said, "Yeah, I was talking to Herb about it." And I was like, "Well, all right, well, all we gotta do is pick a date." And we're looking right now. Looking at the end of August. Again, I just got to call Mike because I sent him a text message and he takes a little while to respond back. But we got to call. I got to call Mike and then just pick pick the date. I went talking to KB. We probably want to do a Saturday, so you get that Sunday to relax type shit. But yeah, man, we're gonna be bringing it back, and it's gonna be better than the way it used to be because we're already gonna have like a self-infused crowd from the brewery goers as is, and it's this shit's gonna be dope. Plus, thank you to Serato and creating stems in the DJ program now. Because like I mentioned to KB, like how we had to do it before, we had to have the instrumentals for songs ready, right? But thank you to stems, every song is a go because we could pull the vocals out of any song you could think of.
Well, that's dope.
So this shit's gonna be fire. But like hip hop karaoke's of old, you gotta know the lyrics. Now we do allow the cheat code. We do kind of allow the cheat code of if you're not sure of the lyrics, you could pull a Drake and read it off your phone, but still, the performance goes better when you know the lyrics. And TJ, for sure, we'll get back to you, TJ, on the experience of hip hop karaoke, so we can say what's up to O. Because like Tyrone said, he was early and on time for the pregame. He is late for the introduction.
I gotta make my appearance, man. Yo, what up, y'all? What up, y'all? I mean, look forward to a great show. Sorry about that, yo. I figured if I turn my screen off, I didn't know, I turned my screen off and then the intro comes on, my screen comes back on. So that's why I walked in like that. So I apologize, man. I was saying, yo, we got a new sponsor. I didn't know we got a new sponsor. You know what I'm saying? I saw the intro and shit, but yeah. Looking forward to a great show, man. My bad.
Oh, on the intro, right? When they show your name and they show you, I peeped the high school picture in the background, dogs.
Yo, we gotta change that picture, man. I didn't sign up for that picture.
I took what was
That's the high
available
school
for
picture.
I took what was available on people's social medias. That's all I did.
About that hip hop karaoke thing and about the whole knowing the lyrics. Isn't part of the fun of karaoke though kind of like when the people don't know the lyrics and they fuck up a little bit? So
if you know how to freak it and freestyle a little bit, go off the top of the dome, yeah.
I'm just saying, I like when people don't know the lyrics a little bit. Well, I like when they think they know the lyrics and they say the wrong thing, and you just be like, "What the fuck was that?" Like it worked, but that ain't the song, bro.
I did exactly that several times.
But
I was gonna say, yo, you got artists that don't know the lyrics, man. So I mean,
yeah.
respect.
But the dope thing about this style of karaoke, again, it's not your traditional where you're reading it off a screen. But like I said, If you want to, you can pull the lyrics up and read it off your phone screen, but generally you're going to pick a song that you actually know. And that's the key. Like, TJ, I don't think you was there for the one that we had to like move in an emergency. But I did fucking what I do? I did Protect Your Neck all by myself. Every single verse. All by
That's what's
myself.
See, I gotta
I don't
I
remember that.
think
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the way
don't, he
my
wasn't there
mind
for
works,
that one.
the way my mind works and the way I operate puts me in a position where I'm either going to succeed at a very, very high level or I'm going to severely play myself. Because for me, I always want to be number one. I don't know why I'm conceited. I guess I'm fucked up, but I got to be top dog. So for me, I'm going to fuck around. I'm going to pick something like Rabbit Run by Eminem, or I'm going to pick some Bone Thug shit and try and try to be like spectacular, and I'm either gonna fall flat on my face or I'm gonna fuck that shit up. But we're gonna have to see which one it's gonna be.
That's all right. That's all right. But the point of it all is the point is to have fun. And
Oh,
if the crowd knows the song, the crowd's gonna sing along with you anyway. Like TJ, you were everybody was. Let's let's do some reminiscing. Almost every woman wanted to do "Killing Me Softly." Lauren Hill's "Killing Me
oh,
Softly,"
that's so bad.
Yes.
but
Yes.
but
Yes.
everybody was singing along, right, TJ?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when
Listen, if your joint comes
you and
on,
Skelly did the joint too, everybody was singing along.
yeah, if your joint comes on, you just gonna rock out. That's how it is. It's just like when you hear it in a bar or club or even at the brewery. Protecting That came on last night. Half the crowd was just going in. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Moving on your left. Ha. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Everybody,
like
you know,
our legendary video from the night we went to that concert at Radio City, and we was at that bar I think
mm,
after, and we was singing DeWick.
yes, yes, that was dope. I forgot about that. That was dope. That was a good night. It was cold as fuck outside, but yeah,
It
that was
was
dope.
cold as fuck. Niggas warmed themselves off the halal guy hot sauce.
Oh, Aaron,
I was complaining because this plate was only a few years old, so my knees was hurting. I was like, hey,
he
y'all have
burned
my
his
fat ass
esophagus
walking
with the food
everywhere.
source, bro. That shit
But
was
we got
crazy. This nigga took off his
but
whole coat outside. It was like 32 below outside. He was sweating.
word. But y'all
It
had
was
fucking
great.
we walked like a quarter of Manhattan that night from 33rd all the way to 55th, and then we went across all the way from fucking where Radio City is all the way to 8th Ave, and
Yo,
then had to
wasn't
get back
DMX
down to the
outside freestyling?
no, no.
He was outside. He was freestyling outside.
I wasn't in the space where that happened. But we left. Remember. Actually, the DMX memory was we left as soon as that nigga started praying
Yeah. Yeah, you're
on
right.
stage. He was standing on top of a fucking speaker and started his prayer shit.
He
We
was
was like, all
high.
right, we out. The
Wow,
He was
rest in
high.
peace to the dog.
wow.
He was high.
But
It was
we
bad.
Way to disrespect the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
rest in
That's
peace to
dirty
the
work.
dog though. It brought a huge lull to the damn show. And it
I
was like,
agree.
and I think he was the closer, so we didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he do that anyway. We just got finished being a bunch of heathens, and then you want to break out in prayer. It's like, dog, this ain't that type of party, my man.
That's the
well,
first time they did. Oh, that show was the first time they did the symphony live all together.
yes, yes.
That shit was
We saw the
bananas.
first time. We saw the first time ever the Juice Crew all together. Every single member performed the symphony together as a unit. The first
Yeah,
time
Kane
they
came
ever
out.
did it in life.
wow.
Yeah, G-Rap and Kane came out, and the place went bananas, yo.
Yo,
Bananas.
I was the one person. The only person I spazzed out for was Master Ace.
Oh, that's right. That's
That's
your
it.
boy.
But because we was talking about the prayers, and we're gonna be talking about saying your prayers and eating your non-steroid vitamins, we got our
Okay.
brother Curtis had to jump in because he wanted to be a part of this episode. What up, kid?
Yo, what's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
much
sir.
better
Yes,
than the
sir.
last time you was on with us.
Oh, word? Hey, you see, I got the mic right next to my mouth now, so I think I was cordless last time.
Yeah, nah, you was in like a fucking in like the hallway or something, or like yeah, like porch area last time with every bit of wilderness around you. But what up, kid?
Nothing, man. I'm chilling, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. So I thought it was
As
gonna be.
always,
I honestly thought it was gonna be like 20 people in here, man. So I'm shocked.
it is what it is. You know how it goes with this show. People come when they want to. But Tyrone, you leading the way until we get to that. So what you got for us?
What I got is you see my underneath my name it says I'm not impressed. Now I've been on this app. I've been on our podcast. I've been on my podcast. I've been on social media going crazy. I've always championed for women. I've always championed for women. I champion for women's boxing. I champion for women's wrestlers. I champion for the WNBA. I've been championing for these women for a long time. And now, first of all, I'm not impressed with Fantastic Four, but we'll talk about that another time because I know you guys didn't see it yet, except for But I've been impressed with women, and I've been championing for women. I've been talking about the WNBA, and I've been talking about the women's boxing, women's wrestlers, and all that. And now this has been a time where I'm literally to the point where I'm no longer impressed with these women. That I'm kind of getting frustrated with them because the WNBA had their All Star thing, and I know they asked for more money, and I understand all that. And then they came out there, and both teams had on the pay us what we're worth shirts and all this and all that. And I digress on that because I still don't understand how they feel like they can make money when the WNBA is not making money as a whole. But I was impressed with the camaraderie. I was like, yes, they got these shirts on. At least they're all sticking together. They're not fighting each other. And then in the press conference this week, Kelsey Plum takes the chance to take the shot at Caitlin Clark and say, hey, Caitlin Clark's team didn't come to the meetings about the shirts. They just showed up, and we had meetings about wearing the shirts. We had meetings about what we were going to say, and they didn't show up to the meetings. They just literally took the T-shirts and put them on right before the game. And I'm like, even if they did do that, why are you pushing that narrative out there? Why are you using that to take a shot at Caitlin Clark? Why are you like diffusing something that I thought was a good thing, despite the fact that the All-Star game wasn't that impressive? And then the same thing is going on with the women's boxing. Clarissa Shields is talking that shit with Layla Ali. Layla Ali is talking back and forth. She's getting $15 million for Layla. After I just saw Serrano and Katie Taylor put on an impressive fight, she's getting $15 million to fight Layla. And then she had her fight last night, and I was looking like, you ain't it. She won the fight, but it was like, you talking shit. You getting $15 million for Layla, and what you did last night was nothing for me to. It was a laughable thing. Her opponent ran all night, and Clarissa does what she always does. She's like Mike Tyson. She's like very aggressive. She's like Mike Tyson with no power. Very aggressive, very much so trying to knock somebody's head off, but it can't hurt anyone and doesn't have any defense. And so it's like, you're the GOAT. You're calling out Layla Ali. You're about to get $15 million for Layla Ali, and you're not even impressing us in the ring right now with the competition that you have before you. So like I said, that's my two issues with the women's WNBA, and with Clarissa Shields, I am not impressed. Wow.
Well, we talked about this last week in a way, and like, but the aspect of the WNBA we didn't talk about was the whole shirt thing, the whole pay us what you owe, and what you mentioned about the Kelsey Plum talking about Caitlin Clark, like it immediately triggered WWE wrestling fan or WWE sports entertainment fan. Like you're asking, like Caitlin is the WWE in this case, and like they care. The vibe she's been given is, yeah, you care about playing the game, but are you really for the whole thing? And it sounds like the WWE fan, where the WWE fan is, yeah, but what about this wrestler? What about that wrestler? While TKO is just like, yeah, fuck you, we're giving you Jelly Roll. Like, we're gonna give you what we want. So Caitlin Clark gave them what they want. what she wanted, and that was it. That's just the way to correlate. That correlates to me. But the whole pay us what you owe. It's like I see. I see both sides in a way because do the women deserve to get paid some more money? Absolutely. But does the product garner more money? I don't think so. The league has been running under a deficit for a long time now. A long time now. So it's I can see it on the business end of how can we pay you what you think we owe you, but you're not helping bring in the dollars. And that's the tough part around the conversation, TJ. You're shaking your head.
It's not tough anymore. They just signed a $2 billion media TV rights
Oh
deal.
my God.
Oh, well, okay.
TJ.
What the hell's that?
$2
No,
billion,
it
bro.
don't. No, it don't. Y'all not doing simple math. Y'all not doing simple math. The $2 billion, it's a $2 billion media deal, right? The $2 billion is for 11 years. They gotta keep that deal for 11 years. That's $200 million a year around, right? Now think about this. Teams have 12 players. So how much is that money per team? That's 12 million per team, close to. So they have 12 players. So if they pay all 12 of their players $1 million per season out of that deal, they have no money left. They would be back at zero. No profit.
But every player is not getting $12 million, bro.
No. But
every player is not worth $12 million.
No. It's
on
not.
top of you,
worth
no.
You said 1 million.
TJ,
$1 million.
on top of you got to pay the other people that are involved with the teams also.
Right. And so listen, you got Caitlin Clark from the Indiana Fever, right? You got $12 million to pay 12 players. You're gonna give Caitlin Clark $1 million, right? You're gonna give her $1 million, right? You might give a couple of other players $1 million, and then the other players they're not gonna get. So the league max is $250. So now if you give the other players $250, you're gonna run out of money. You're going to be back at zero, or you're going to be in the negative if you pay all those players.
That's if the league doesn't generate enough money over the next 11 years, though. You're saying it's still going to be at a deficit at that point.
They've been in a deficit since they've been around.
But now it's turning around. Like teams are generating money. There are more owners trying to buy teams in their cities because they see the product is working, bro. It's working. So it's not going anywhere. That's for sure. It's only going to get bigger. The league is only going to expand. And this money we talking about 10 years from now will be pennies on the dollar, bro. You're not thinking, you thinking like this shit is going to be stagnant. The game has only gotten bigger since the early 90s until now. Look at where it was. Was it the Comets? They were a dynasty back then. Nobody even knows about them. But now, it's gone from that to this, bro. It's on TV all the time. The season's going to get longer. They're going to play more games.
It's a slow evolution.
Yeah, it's eventually going to start generating some real cash. You just don't throw $2 billion at something and say, I hope it works.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they've been operating at a deficit since their incarnation, right? And the two biggest things that can happen to the WNBA have happened. I'm sorry to say it. We want to deny it, but the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing is one of the biggest things that's happened to the league. And then Paige Becker's coming in, and Paige doing what she's doing is one of the most biggest things happening to the league. And I want this league to succeed. And next year, Juju's going to come. And if Juju comes, that's going to be another big thing that happens to this league. But I see nothing. After Juju, I see nothing else. And I'm saying that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese gave him a bump. They didn't give him a big enough bump as I thought. Paige coming this year didn't give him a big enough bump as I thought. Juju might bump a little more, but I don't see nothing after that.
All on my timeline is these girls in junior high school and high school killing it.
Dude, that's too long.
Killing it. It's 4 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
They want the money now.
Why is your timeline? Why is your timeline full of junior high schoolers though?
Because
basketball related, Dan. Also, you said Caitlin Clark didn't show up for the meetings, right? And she just put on the shirt. Caitlin Clark is already getting her money, so she might have been acting like she didn't have that because she's getting more money than everybody else anyway off of endorsements. She's on damn near every State Farm commercial.
She didn't say Caitlin Clark didn't show up for the meeting. She said they had a meeting, a WNBA meeting before the All-Star game. They scheduled it to have a meeting to talk about that they was going to put the shirts on and they was going to stand up for them not getting the money. She said Caitlin Clark's whole team didn't come. Caitlin Clark was the captain of the team. She set that team up. She picked the players. She said none of that team showed up to the meeting. None of Caitlin Clark's team showed up to the meeting. And then right before they got on the court, they came and got their shirts and put their shirts on. So she said none of her team didn't show up for that meeting. They just came and wore the shirt. And
they sent their representative.
And I'm saying that's fine. No, nobody showed up. Caitlin Clark didn't show up neither. She said they didn't see nobody from that team. But I'm saying that's not the problem. I don't have an issue with that. They still put the shirts on. They still was there. We was praising the camaraderie and all that. So why does Kelsey Plum have to go out on a platform and tell their business? She just tainted it. She didn't have to say that they didn't show up. She didn't have to say nothing. She didn't have to put Caitlin Clark's name in it. She wanted to let everybody know that Caitlin Clark's team wasn't down with the call.
Well, I would say, and what's up, Jamal? And I would say, I understand, but to me, that looks like a shot from Kelsey Plum saying, yo, y'all keep propping this woman up, and look what she didn't do. Y'all keep propping her up, and look what she didn't do. So I'm not mad at the shot. How you feel about that, Curtis?
Well, she's the cash cow for the league right now. But we have to also remember, I think she missed a gang of, she was out for a gang of, she misses a lot of time this year. Where she had the quad injury. And even with her out, not just the Fevers game, I think the viewership went down overall over the league as a whole. So, I mean, it might be a little bit of a jealousy type thing going on, but I think Kelsey probably put that out there just to say, hey, your girl's not all that perfect. There's other people here too.
But that was a team issue then. If the whole team didn't show up, it wasn't like she didn't show up. The whole team didn't show up, right? So I don't know why she was getting singled out. I mean, I know why she was getting singled out, but it wasn't. It's not fair in a sense.
Like she just had a like a basketball card just auctioned off for like almost $400K.
600,000.
Was it 600? Man, I thought it was like 300 something. But that's crazy, man. So I mean, the potential is there if people are paying for merchandise like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's coming. It's coming. Hot and hot.
What up, Jamal?
Yo,
what's up, y'all?
You cracking me up saying it's coming, right? But after Juju Watkins, you had to go to junior high to get the next star, bro. Like, what you talking about?
Well, you had to dig for Juju.
I didn't dig for Juju. Juju is it. We know about Juju, but after Juju, there's nobody in college right now that's moving the needle. And TJ just said that he's got junior high school girls that's going to take at least 5 years to get to the WNBA.
But the next season of college basketball hasn't started to see who's the next to be pushed. So somebody that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, somebody pop up.
Unless there's a high schooler right now that's going to change it. We know who the college players are. We know who all the girls are going to be playing.
You act like Juju ain't going to be in the league for the next 5 years, killing it. Like you're not going to care about that. She's going to be shining in the league for the next 5 or 10 years. So who cares?
No, I get it, but I get his point though. His point is we always know who's the up and coming, who's the next up. But that's the thing. The women's college season didn't start yet. The women's college season to really, really know who's coming. Like I forgot the woman's name, but there was this badass guard out there who everybody's been watching. That she's gonna be one of them names that obviously I'm forgetting now. Yeah. The girl who just transferred from she just transferred from Notre Dame.
Yeah, she's
somewhere else.
She's nasty.
Hidalgo is coming out with Juju. They coming out together. So they not moving it. So they gonna move the needle for the next season. They coming out together. So that's why I didn't bring her name up because she in that Juju thing. She's in the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige Buckets, Juju Hidalgo. That's kind of all I see for the future, and that's now.
Well,
I'll
we
be honest
need the
with you.
season to start.
Yo, I'll be honest with you, man. Yo, the way the college basketball landscape is, both on men's and women's, I even noticed it more on men's because I was a big men's college basketball fan. You don't the way that is set up now. You really don't even know who the next big player come out of colleges anymore until midway through, the season. So yeah, I'm not gonna be worried about that,
Yeah.
man.
It's
Until
not
like
it's not the
Christmas.
same because we're
Yeah.
not hearing about them from high school.
Right. Right.
We're not hearing about them from high school. Like I was just talking to JP, shout out to the brother. He mentioned Warnie DJ Wagner. He mentioned like he was talking him up from high school because he's a Camden fan and all that stuff. And I asked him about him, and he was just like, I think he had injury or something like that, or just he didn't develop yet to being the guy that he was expected to be from high school. We're not
Right.
hearing about these players the same way from the high school level anymore, the way we used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was crazy to say it like that in this open social media space that we're in, where it's easier to hear about everybody. But our era of like slam magazines and shit like that, where
Reese
you had the
Smith.
next up, you had the next ups on the magazines, you had the next ups being pushed in different ways, where it was easier for us to know them. It was much easier. But for the women's case, and I've been trying to tell you, Jamal, for the women's case, we need the season to start.
Yeah, there's always going to be the next star waiting, especially in college basketball. There's always somebody from a mid-major or a small school you haven't heard about that wasn't heavily recruited. There's always somebody laying in the wings to come up. I don't think at this point. I think it's clear that we've been producing probably this era has been producing so many talented women pro level players, and I think it's only gonna increase, man. The women's game is ridiculous, so we won't have to wait long for that next star to come out. So probably within the first month of the season, this will probably be null and void.
Yeah.
What about that freshman from Duke? She won the ACC Rookie of the Year. She can dunk. She's like 6'2". Man, what's her down?
Word?
Oh man, she's a white chick. If that helps, but I'm just like, man, I think she might.
A white kid that could dunk.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I mean, if you look at her, you can tell she got a crazy wingspan. Just to be 6'2", but she can dunk. I'm not saying she coming down like Derrick Rose, but her name is man. She's a freshman at Duke this year, man. But I think if I can get her name, but I think if she keeps going the way I think she's expected to do, like I said, she won the ACC Rookie of the Year. I think she might be the next, marketable star or person that's coming up behind Caitlin and Angel Reese and all them.
And she got Paige Buchers as well.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Marketable.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? What's funny? Y'all have more. You guys sitting here with more optimism.
Riley Nelson.
Y'all sitting here with more optimism than the league has in its own self. Okay. Because here's the thing. Since when do you know? You can ask any sports league, MLB, NBA, NFL, any sports league that's marketable, any sports league that has media deals or whatever. Since when do you know a media deal to be an 11-year deal? The WNBA signed an 11-year media deal. Now, if y'all saying that the future is so bright, and they signed an 11-year media deal for $2.5 billion, if the future was so bright, why didn't they sign a 3-year deal and then bank on more money for the future? That's why the NBA don't sign no long-term media deals, because they know they're going to get more money. So the WNBA was so confident in their product improving and making more money, they signed an 11-year contract.
Slow down, because the women's game, as we've been trying to say, is still evolving and still growing. And I
Right.
understand. I understand what you're trying to say, but it's unfair because you are comparing a league that we already stated has been playing under a deficit for almost as long as they've been in existence versus cash cows that are automatic money bringers.
Well, what I'm saying is that
So
don't.
so no, what you're saying, but what you're saying too is the WNBA needs this time and needs, at least this is a start. Like, that's to this level of contract, this is at least a start. Because I'm sure I don't know the whole contract. I'm sure we don't know the whole contract. They probably have somewhere within like the midway point of the deal that if they are bringing the numbers that these networks like, then they can probably renegotiate.
Negotiate, yep.
Because those things are usually always at play in contracts like this. But we don't have the contracts in front of us to describe it.
Oh. So my concept
Yeah.
is like, I don't know, and I said this last time, and I'll say this again. I'm not opposed to them asking for a raise. I'm not opposed to them asking for more money. I think that they should get paid more money. But I'm just thinking that with the flux of that deal coming in, with the flux of Caitlin Clark and what Angel Reese has done, with the flux of what Paige Beckers has done and Juju is on his way or whatever, I just think that right now, y'all on a positive wave, ride that wave, because if this ends up in a strike situation, you fuck all the momentum up.
But Tyrone, the
That's
$2
how I feel
billion
about it.
deal, the $2 billion deal is the riding of that wave, and
Yeah.
this is the fruit. This is the fruit of that momentum. Is that $2 billion deal? So shout out to my brother Mid South. Oh, he said so. They're good enough to get an 11-year deal, but they shouldn't have signed it. And this is kind of what I'm trying to say. Is like, if that's what's being thrown in front of you and you're a league that plays under a deficit, you got to take what you can get and then grow from it. Like, this is the first time they're getting or seeing something of numbers of this level. We got to allow it to at least kick off and make it happen. I understand what you're trying to get at. Like, no, look, they have the selling pieces to probably have asked for more. But we don't have the contracts to know, do they have like a year 7 we can renegotiate?
Yeah, they might. I'm not saying they shouldn't have signed the deal. That's a good deal. They should have signed that deal. I'm saying that
they weren't working from a position of leverage to negotiate something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to take that first deal. You have to take that first deal and build off of that. And now that gives you leverage going into the next deal and every deal after that in the future. You get
especially
revenue
if they
sharing,
can show growth.
Players get cuts off the top, all that shit. You can get all of that done the next time around. It's only going to get bigger. The money's only going to be there.
I didn't say that they shouldn't sign the deal. My point is that with the media offering them an 11-year deal for that price, and with them taking that deal for that price, that's saying that the media feels that there's an uncertainty on where this is going to go, and that's also saying that the league feels that there's an uncertainty of where this is going to go. Now they might have to be, they might say
no.
$2 billion is uncertainty. $2 billion is not an
uncertainty.
Since when
with
a B?
Since when is $2 billion
a
$2 billion a failure at anything, fam? That's one. Number two, Tyrone, their stars are young. Their stars are going to be there for a good decade. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers just got there. Juju's coming up. Just think about where the NBA was before Magic and Bird had that rivalry. Was they getting the deals they got now?
No.
And they still wasn't getting it until the ball-headed dude, 23 from Chicago, came in there.
Player 23.
Yes. So you gotta look. It's an investment, man. They know what's going. You start small, and if when them numbers start picking up, they're going to be in a position to renegotiate before that contract's up.
So now you don't think that with them wearing those shirts and them saying pay us what we owe us and them wearing those shirts and them showing that camaraderie and them going into the CBA saying, hey, we're together, we're sticking together, it's all of us. It's all of us. We're all in agreement. We all want more money. It's all of us or none of us, right? And that's what they built up. That's what they've been saying. That's what they've been going off of. That's what they're going into that's what they were supposed to be going into the collective bargaining agreement with. We're all on the same page. We're in unity. We're standing together. We're unified as women. We're unified as a team. And then you don't think that Kelsey Plum doing that press conference and saying, hey, Caitlin Clark wasn't preaching that. Caitlin Clark didn't unify her team. Her team didn't come to this meeting. You don't think that that's like something she shouldn't have done? Like that's like, to me, that's like taking away the progress that they made in trying to get this deal.
They're going to show up to the most important meeting ever when it's time to negotiate those terms, bro.
Yeah, just look at it.
Exactly. I don't care if you're showing up for a t-shirt. I need to see you there when it's time to put the money on the table, bro.
Right. And
who gives a fuck about a t-shirt?
Look at every players union, man, in every league. They've had stuff like that. Also, you gotta remember these are kids, man. These women are young. These are young people that they still figuring it out, man. They're not the, you know what I'm saying? How old is Kelsey Plum? Anybody know? All right, how old is Caitlin Clark?
I think Kelsey Plum is 31.
Oh, she's that young?
You know what kind of dumb shit I was fucking doing?
No, not Kelsey Plum.
24?
No, shit.
So, yeah. So give them some time to mature too. That's all.
Plus, man, we have people that bust unions in every sport, man. Even sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Look
at the dead man whose topic we will get to at some point. Look what he did.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
Also, the WNBA has the option to renegotiate the contract after 3 years.
Okay.
There we go.
Look at that.
There we go.
Okay. Hey man, I buy hooks, rubs, and spices for my crow sandwiches. You already know that. So the other thing too, I don't know if y'all watch the women's boxing, right? But what I was saying last time about the whole Claressa Shields Layla Ali thing is that I thought that them getting $15 million for Layla Ali and Claressa and all that, and to pay Layla Ali $15 million, I thought it was very disrespectful when I watched Katie Taylor and Amanda Soriano, who just did an all-woman females boxing card for the first time ever, who just made the highest purses ever in boxing, and who put on a great fight to only get $9 million. And I thought it was disrespectful for them to say, hey, we're going to pay Layla Ali $15 million to fight Claressa Shields. And then Claressa, who talked all of that shit, big time game, I'm the GOAT, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the greatest woman boxer ever. And then she had her heavyweight title fight on Saturday. And that fight didn't move no needle for women's boxing. That fight didn't do nothing for her. It looked like it was scheduled, like it was like a routine thing.
So we're rehashing this argument again from last week. So let me ask you. All of Mayweather's heavy payday fights, how much did it move the needle for boxing?
When later? Claressa's in it now. She's in his heyday. Mayweather in his heyday was different than Mayweather later on. You talking about Mayweather and De La Hoya? Who cares? You talking about Mayweather Pacquiao? Who cares? But we already knew that. But Claressa's in it right now. Mayweather already had proven himself by that point. It's a whole different ball game. And I'm not talking about that no more. I'm not talking about that no more. What I'm talking about is Claressa, you're not even impressive you're not even impressive with the people that you're fighting now. You're not very much so impressive. You're talking like you're this great thing. And then people are going online and saying Claressa's going to knock Layla out and all of this stuff. They're building this fight up. And this fight with Layla Ali is not looking to me that like it would even be good. Claressa's not impressive in the ring at this point. She has no punching. She's like I said, she's like Mike Tyson without his power. That's how she fights. She's very aggressive, and she has
what
no
you're
defense.
looking for. So
But
what
she
you're
wins.
looking for. And that's what I was going to get to, Jamal. So what you're looking for is the big impressive, the big wow, but yet her record speaks for her caliber of athlete.
Yeah, I'm looking for the big wow because that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You're building. She's building herself up as that she is the big wow. Y'all hear this woman talk? This woman talks like she is the big wow. She talks like she's Floyd Mayweather. She talks like that, and she
Because
don't give.
nobody beat her. She can talk that shit. When
Yeah.
she
Thank
loses,
you.
Dude,
Thank you.
come on.
You know what the problem.
Yeah.
You know what it is, and I feel it for her. And if I can make an analogy, she has the same issue that Larry Holmes had. People didn't respect Larry Holmes until he was going to beat. Larry Holmes held that belt for 7 years, beat everybody off that jab, right? They killed him because he beat up an old Ali and everything else. But when he was done, everyone realized he's one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time. They didn't appreciate him when he was there because he wasn't a knockout artist and all that stuff. But Clarissa Shields has all the skills. She did it in the Olympics, man. She did it in pro. And anytime they said they put somebody in front that said was going to beat her, especially Savannah Marshall was supposed to wreck her, she takes him out of there. She takes care of business.
I'm saying right now
Mm-hmm.
that I appreciate all that. I was the main defender of Mayweather. I was the main defender of Mayweather. I said Mayweather's doing what he's got to do to win and all this and all that. Mayweather was brash, Mayweather was harsh and all, and Mayweather was whatever he was. I defend him. I like that. I like the sweet science of boxing. I like the sport, whatever. What I'm saying was that I was not like I guess y'all have to see the fight. Like I was not impressed with that boxing match, and that brings me back to my point of saying that there was an all-women's boxing card. There was two boxers in there. There were all-women boxing card. They had impressive fights that whole night, and the most we can get them was $9 million for that. And now Clarissa Shields is going, "Hey, I'm gonna get $15 million for Layla Ali and need a fight." And then she's not even getting. She don't even get $15 million for herself to fight. And now you want $15 million for a product that I don't feel is going to be that impressive because I'm looking at Layla Ali, who's going to be 48 if the fight happens, who's going to be out of boxing for 18 years. And I'm looking at Clarissa Shields, who is not impressive. She wins the fights. I give her that. She gets credit for winning the fights, but her fights are not impressive. So now you're telling me that you can't get 15 million for women who we know put on good fights, who we know have impressive fights, good boxing matches, and you're going to get 15 million for a fight that's
Tyrone,
not going to be impressive, bro. It's not.
we brought this up. We brought this up last week, though. Yeah, we could get these women who can probably put on good fights, but we don't know these women. Layla
Y'all
Ali,
don't.
once again, Layla Ali is a name that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, warrants generating that kind of money.
It does not.
Easily warrants generating
No.
that kind of money.
Yeah.
But we don't. Oh, what the fuck? Goddamn lantern flies trying to jump me. But she, they don't. These names don't generate that kind of money. So yeah, you can push, push, push. This ties with that WNBA conversation. Like you can push, push, push for certain things, but you got to show us that you could generate that kind of money in order to
Not
get
not
it. And
not to
we're gonna
mention.
bring it up. Go ahead,
Well,
oh.
I'm sorry, not to mention, man. Jake Paul did a decent fight. Did a decent job promoting this fight. That fight to begin with.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like every time you turned on Netflix, that fight was the first thing that popped up on my screen.
He's a
So
promoting
yeah,
machine, man.
yeah,
but
the
Right.
viewership was
But
there.
point I'm trying to get back to once again, and I throw it to Curtis on this is again Mayweather. That motherfucker was never impressive, period, in my opinion, unless you were a boxing purist. Unless you were a boxing purist that loved the sweet science of it, then you raved about that man's wins. But what did we do? And I admitted to this when we talked about him recently. A lot of us paid to see if somebody was going to take him out. You don't have to be impressive to still be a draw. And
man,
if this is what she's trying to do, it's going to bring women, it's going to bring eyes to women's boxing. And again, just like we said last week, if the women that are quote unquote ready to be lined up against Clarissa Shields are sitting outside that ring, just like most of these fighters do when big fight comes along, then this is how you create the story for this is your booking. This is your long-term storytelling in wrestling terms. Right or wrong, Curtis?
I'd agree with you to a certain extent, but I was actually thinking about to what Tyrone said earlier. Um, when he watched the fight last night, he said, I think he said Daniels danced all night, or or was it, yeah, or Daniels
Yeah,
ran all night, right?
yeah.
So I mean, this is essentially what we've gotten. Well, I would say, I guess the casual fan has gotten from Floyd over his most of his career. Like you get a big build up to a fight night with Floyd. You watch the fight, it's not much action like you see Mike Tyson coming out trying to take somebody's head off top. So I mean, unless you're just a connoisseur, like Max Kellerman or somebody, if you come out and see a fight like that, it's really kind of taking the steam out of everything for, the casual fan. They might not tune in next time.
Right.
And then I was wondering, why y'all were talking, and I think Tyrone said it. What Layla hasn't fought in, I think, 18 years, over a decade or so. So I mean, I'm honestly expecting Clarissa to
Wipe the floor with her.
she should bust
Yeah.
her head wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you take that much time off and then come back and fight, and then with Pacquiao is like what 40. He's like 49, or what is he like? He's late 40s. I know it was a close fight. I think he won by what, like 2 votes or something like that. But I mean, I'm really expecting Shields to put it to Layla. It's crazy she's getting all that money, and more power to them. But man, if say for example we have this big build up to the fight and Layla just dances or runs all night, then what? What are we gonna say about that?
Right. That yeah, I get that. I get that, but still, like it's 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 a fight again. Women need something of this elevation. Like they need something of this stature. And again, like TJ was a perfect example last week when you started name dropping people and he was just like, "But who's that?"
What?
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like we need to know these women.
Let,
Yes, do they need to be put in better position to be known? But again, just whoever's the promoter that takes the task of this, if it even happens,
okay.
stage this shit right so you
Let
can
me
build for the next one.
let me put into a perspective. I'm gonna put it into this perspective. First of all, no, before I even do that, I want to say I don't understand what y'all talking about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was very impressive. Y'all gotta understand this, right? Y'all looking at something that y'all think is not impressive, but it's impressive to be in the ring with Sugar Shane Mosley and win that fight easily. And y'all say Floyd's running or whatever Floyd's doing. Floyd don't push the action, but it's very impressive for him to stay away from and survive and outpoint a boxer of that caliber for 12 rounds. That's
Who's this y'all
very
you talking about?
impressive, bro. That is super impressive. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all not impressed with Floyd. Like Floyd
Uh,
was very impressive. Floyd and
Who
his
said that?
it,
young
I
Floyd was
did.
impressive.
I said it. I said it. But once again, if you are a boxing purist, and like Kurt said, if you are a casual, you are going to look at it as was Floyd was playing chicken the whole fight. Floyd was running around the ring the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it looked like to people who don't know boxing. Do I know
Floyd,
boxing? Yes. I tuned into Floyd's fights to want to see him lose. But did I watch sometime masterful boxing? Yes. Yes. But then it was just like, damn, this dude is getting all this money to give us this.
Floyd
How
made
many
young.
times that people walked away? A lot of people walked away from Floyd Mayweather fights pissed off, like, this is what we paid for?
Yeah, but
They want to
12
see somebody.
rounds, 12.
when you put Floyd in the big money fights, he performs. He embarrassed the young Canelo Alvarez. People forget that. And Floyd was old then. Embarrassed this young Canelo. Canelo was the next big thing. Canelo's the big thing right now. Floyd embarrassed him. Made that kid look stupid the whole fight in the ring. And people just going to negate that? Like, no. Floyd is, I guess we're looking at it different. But here's my perspective on the whole Clarissa thing, right? I'm going to put it as if it was me. If I'm a boxer and I'm calling out Layla Ali, which I shouldn't be because it's not impressive for me to beat a old retired boxer, bro. But Claressa wants to stand on business. She wants to say Layla was talking that shit. She wants to claim that she's the GOAT, and the only other woman in female boxing that can lay claim to that they can argue with is Layla. So I get where Claressa's going. Layla was talking some shit too. So it's like, okay, you want to talk some shit? Come on, we're going to have a fight. We're going to fight. But when I'm getting more money for that fight than any other female boxers ever made, when I'm getting more money for that fight when these other females put on this last fight, and I wanted to be respectful, and I got a fight coming up, I'm going into that fight that I have coming up to make people,
bro,
you got to promote. She went to that fight.
Here's where your argument falls apart at. Conor McGregor got paid how much to fight Floyd Mayweather?
No. You didn't
how
even
much did Conor McGregor get to fight Floyd Mayweather?
What I'm saying.
How much did Conor get to fight Floyd Mayweather? And he went back to UFC, and nobody's making Conor McGregor money. Nobody.
That was the end of his career, bro. He retired after that Floyd fight.
Nobody.
That one fight got him paid more than all his other UFC fights combined. That was it for him.
But for me, I'm saying if I was in Claressa's position and all this stuff was happening and I was doing what she was doing, I understand what she's doing, right? When my fight came up the next week, I got to follow up that Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight. I also got to follow up with my mouth that I've been talking all week. I also got to promote a fight with Layla. I also got to justify the $15 million. And I go out there on Saturday night and I have that kind of performance. That was embarrassing. It's
that happens all the time in boxing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
all the time in boxing.
But I can be mad about it, TJ. I can be unimpressed. Like I said, I can have a problem with that, and I don't know.
You sound like a casual now. You sound like a casual fan.
No, boxing fans definitely got a problem with this. If you're a boxing fan and you saw that fight last night, you got a problem, bro. You got a problem.
McGregor got 30 million and Floyd got 100.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's getting that UFC money.
Oh, man,
nobody's getting that money in the UFC. He didn't bring up the UFC's paycheck when he went back and he took on another fight. You didn't get close to that. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I think they got that's probably the base. I mean, we don't know what they got total once you add up the gate and whatever they got through pay-per-view and everything else. There was a bunch of incentives, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was no way Conor McGregor could walk away from that fight.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of. I'm sorry. I was just to read Brian's comment. This is kind of, I think, where I'm at. It's like smart booking by Floyd and Jake. Tell a good story to make people want to see you lose. Make your money and make people talk about the fight, even it's not a good fight. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, talk your shit, Claressa. Talk your shit. And again, if the point of it all is to try to get more eyes on it, and then again, yeah, Tyrone, I'm with you. Try to get this same money for the up and comers that are coming along. But again, the up and comers need to do a better job at making a name for themselves. And reality is, I'm not even going to say just the up and comers. The promoters need to do better by these women. That's why Taylor and Serrano was able to get, because Jake did what he did to promote the fuck out of the shit.
And Claressa talking shit on Jake. All she
spend money to make money, Ty.
Yeah, though.
But it's
smart
easy
for her
to
to
talk shit about Jake, though.
Yeah, it's smart for her to do that.
So here,
Jake brings his whole Jake brings his whole following to everything. Now, if she gets in a war of words with this dude, his whole following is now seeing it, and eventually he's going to say, "Well, I got this woman right here. I think whip your ass, Claressa." Now she got the payday you talking about.
So we
there you go.
We spend a lot of time saying that even Mike Tyson, as good as we thought it was, people were complaining about his fights, right? Cool. You guys just complained and spit out that y'all weren't too impressed with Mayweather, right? And we have a lot of boxers like this that we could say, hey, they're not impressing us in the ring. They're doing what they need to do to win. They're taking money and all that stuff, right? So my point is, if Claressa is not impressing me in the ring, fighting these people that y'all don't even know, fighting these tomato can opponents, fighting these women that don't push the needle, don't move the needle, not good women, not good female boxers, then she's the GOAT. And she's not impressing me against them. Then why would I ever look forward to a fight with her and Layla Ali? There's no reason.
because
because
that
you're counting your opinion as the general public.
I'm talking about me. I ain't saying nobody else. I said I. Me. And I'm trying to convince you all to not. I mean, I'm general public too, though. That's not sound stupid.
hold on, because just Jamal just painted you in the corner, because you just said me, and you said I'm trying to get y'all. Yeah, you're trying to get us on your side.
Yeah.
And sorry, being loud is being wrong right now. Being loud is just being wrong right now. It's not making you right, good brother.
I'm gonna tell you.
It's about making it interesting.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Me wanting the Clarissa Shields is gonna fight Layla Ali is not keeping me up at night, man.
No. Saying this, you see what Dan's doing, though, what he's trying to do to me? He knows that I'm very emotional. And he knows that my loudness is not me trying to talk over you guys or trying to yell or trying to prove a point. That's just how my emotions flow through my body. I do that on my own show when I'm talking by myself. So this ain't that, man. Don't try to spin it and act like I'm one of those people that get loud to prove a point. I just get loud because I'm just loud.
I just need to be here in about another half an hour. You know what I'm saying? To really see you get animated. But go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that as a general, I don't think that the general public, I don't think that this fight can be promoted as something that's going to be spectacular, as something that's going to be worth that money, as something that's going to be wanting people to watch. If Clarissa is not impressing us now, fighting bums,
you said
I don't feel like I'm
spectacular.
going to be impressed for her to fight an old woman who's been retired for 18 years.
I get it, but Ty, you said it's nothing spectacular. It's the spectacle part of it that's going to sell that fight.
Right.
I don't want them to sell that
just
fight,
like
bro.
the spectacle of Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. It's just like the spectacle of an old 60-year-old ass Mike Tyson fighting a 30-year-old Jake Paul, bro.
And how did that turn out, TJ? How disrespectful was that fight?
It was, but how many people watched it? Did you watch it?
We watched it, though.
It's froze their
point.
servers up. So many people watched it.
They knew it was going to happen beforehand. They already had the script.
Dude, you can want all the fuck you want.
Oh my God, man.
And they can still not deliver. And it's simple. And that's why I mentioned Mayweather earlier, because a lot of people wanted, and then was left holding themselves like, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I meant by Mayweather's fights not being interesting. Talking on a casuals grand scale of things, you looking at it like, wait, that's it? This is what I just paid $70, $80 for? To watch a man run in circles and play defense, but win by points?
Right.
The boxing purist is like, absolutely. That's the name of the game. But again, the casuals is like, this is it.
So,
and this is the point. The point of these things is to try to bring in the casual. The point is to try to bring in those eyes that it says, hey, yeah, I remember Layla Ali's name. Oh shit, she's coming back. Let me get this. Like Brian said real quick, Sports Entertainment 101. Talked y'all into the building and viewing. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's the recipe.
And there it is. That's the point I'm making. Like the casuals are going to go in expecting something that they shouldn't be. And this is what's happening right now. Like, I don't expect Clarissa and Layla Ali to put on a good fight based on Layla being old and being out of boxing for 18 years. And based on what Clarissa is doing right now, there's no reason for a casual boxing fan to want to watch this fight.
And even what Ed said, though, like it gives Ed's comment is giving what's left for Clarissa. He said it doesn't help that Clarissa has ran through most of her competition that is now doing MMA in the professional fighting league. Like, yeah, this is where Clarissa is now because she's expanding her brand because the vibe is like, but who's left? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad again. Calling out of Layla Ali. You call yourself the GOAT. You want to go after the person who has been known to be the women's GOAT? Go have at it. Have at it.
Okay, one last question
also,
about it.
What casual boxing fan is watching women's boxing?
That part.
What casual boxing fans watching women's boxing, bro? I don't know any.
They need
You?
to. They need to. Because if they
Nah.
was, they wouldn't be looking
Nah.
forward to this fight for sure. They'd be like, nope, I don't need to see that. Okay, but
So
here's the thing.
before you get to
Nah,
your
the hype
last question,
is
so before you get to your last question on this, and then we're gonna move on to the final because I know Jamal got to get out of here. But
It's all good.
so you can be the guy, Tyrone, that helps push the fucking sport instead of doing what we're doing right now and just saying this ain't gonna be it. This ain't not what I want to see. No, help promote that shit. Help push it. Be the change.
Hey, you know I'm
Be the
underhanded.
change.
I got plenty of reels on my YouTube about it. I'm underhanded as shit. I've been on there making videos of Layla. I got videos of Layla, Caressa. I got videos of Amanda. I am pushing it. I'm talking a lot of shit about it, but you know nobody listens to me. So, but anyway, my last question is this, right? And this is my main point: is the winner? Does the winner of this fight change your opinion on who the greatest woman boxer is of all time? Like if Layla loses this fight, does that change your opinion on her being the greatest woman boxer or what? You see what I'm saying? Because I
No,
don't
because
think
48.
it matters.
No, not at all.
No.
Right. So they're fighting for something that really doesn't even matter because the people who believe that Layla is the greatest of all time, all they're going to do is say Layla was 48 and 18 years out the business. She's still the greatest of all time. And the people who believe Clarissa is better, they're going to pump their chest. And it's going to be, well, she beat up an old Layla. And it's still going to be Layla in her prime would have still beat Clarissa. And we're going to be right back where we started.
And
But
that
Layla's going
argument,
to be going home with $15 million, though.
exactly,
That's not,
exactly. And
yeah,
that's
that's
kind of the
terrible.
point of it all right there. Because
That's bad.
again, it's that terrible argument that we have with between Jordan and LeBron and shit like that. Like to me, again, I'm gonna repeat what I said last week. Fight like this is just a passing of the torch. That's it. It's just a passing of the torch. Is it going to sway people's minds? No, because people are going to do exactly what you said. Yeah, but she beat up a 48-year-old.
Yep.
Okay. But also, too, to put a mirror on that and put it back on you, but did that 48-year-old have to say yes? No. You made yourself an available competitor. Now act like one. It's just like how when I talk about, oh, you came off the bench, you're a professional athlete. Play like one. Just because you're not celebrity superstar name, you're still a professional athlete. You're still of the 0.1% of a sport that is getting paid to do what you love. Go out there and act like it. So if Layla, I mean, of course she's gonna do it for the money, but if you're gonna step in that ring, don't shortchange yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. Be about that shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to continue to carry that label of the GOAT, then go out there and do that shit, even at 48 years old. Motherfucker, George Foreman did what he did at 40 what? You know what I'm saying? Now, did we look at George as the greatest? No. But did he put the hammers down on somebody who we thought was going to beat him?
Damn.
Absolutely. And went home with a belt.
And no one ever heard of Michael Moore again after that.
I know.
Right.
So again, what was
But
what's the incentive of doing this? But all right.
y'all out of context with that George Foreman. That was a terrible fight. George Foreman stood there and covered up and let Michael Moore beat on him for 10 rounds.
Now you're missing the strategy. Now you're missing the strategy.
He said that. I mean, that was his strategy. He said it.
Boxing
He set his ass
purist.
up. Yes. He set his ass up. He said, I know at this age and at this weight, I can't be chasing the young man around the ring. He said, if I can take what that dude gives me and set him up just so I can, he said, and then the thing is, and how you know George Foreman's not lying? If you watch the fight and you watch Teddy Atlas screaming at Michael Moore, what did he say? He says, don't stand in front of him. He's setting you up for one big shot. He told him that, right? He said he's trying to set you up for one big shot.
And timing.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that.
It still was bad. It was real bad.
Michael Moore is hard-headed though, man. He's a good fighter, but he's very hard-headed dude, man.
But what's real bad though is the loss of anybody's the loss of life, period, is bad. Except for one guy we're gonna talk about, but the loss of life is bad. And we'll start off by saying rest easy to Chuck Mangione. As they say, they say it comes in threes. This week it
Mhm.
came in fours.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Chuck Mangione, legendary jazz musician who just he had classics. He had classics out there. Shit that you probably didn't even realize most likely was sampled in some sort of a
Yep.
rap record or something. Rest in peace to Ozzy, another person who again was sampled definitely in our hip hop rap culture and all that stuff, but was a part of a legendary group, legendary front man for Black Sabbath. Became even more of a legend by way of his reality show, Meet the Osbournes. Um, you know, infamous for allegedly biting bat heads off and things like that, but was never heard or known to be like a shithead person. And then rest easy to Malcolm Jamal Warner, who we lost. That was a tragic one. He got
Mhm.
lost. I think it was like in a riptide current or something like that, and couldn't get
Costa
out of
Rica.
it. And
Yeah.
yeah, in Costa Rica on a family trip like that. So to the pain of losing a loved one right in front of you is I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. And once again, personal condolences to my homie Marvell, who lost his daughter about a week ago. That shit destroyed me. Like that one destroyed me because this good dude, homie of mine, and to know that a 5 year old is off this planet because of somebody's fucked up actions was that shit was devastating. But
Mm.
the one that shook up the world and has to me shown people's asses. I mean, shown a lot of people for who they are. Now, some people I can say personally, like there's one friend of mine I can give a pass to because it's one of the homies, but and I know him personal enough to know that the ignorance doesn't sit with him. But this guy Terry Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan, my goodness, you want to talk about turmoil behind somebody's death? You want to talk about shenanigans and people again, people just showing their ass and showing who they are. This is why I had the title of the show to protect your legacy because Curtis, like me personally, and y'all see my timeline. This is why I know the brother was excited for this show because I was going in all week, and some people were trying to question it. I seen one dude who was an old friend of ours. Oh, what? You acting like you never said nigga before and this and that. How many? And this is a black dude, by the way. How many
Mm.
black people did this? How many black people do that? On some real pick me type fucking supporting my massa behavior behind this shit.
Thanks.
I personally was taking the approach of number one, I was never a fan of his. And so it's the truth. I never was a fan of the red and yellow. When he was Hollywood, I appreciated it. I appreciated the oh shit, he came to WCW. Wow, okay, let's see if things are interesting now that he's out of the WWF fold. Which to me, when it comes to WWF talent, I'm always looking to see what you do if you're out of their fold. Because if you were groomed in that system, you haven't experienced the world like that, in my opinion. But to know this guy, okay, he had all of y'all, most of the people, as a fan, trapped by the balls of say your prayers, eat your vitamins, Hulkmania, what you gonna do when the largest arms in the world run wild on you, yada 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 yada. He had y'all fan base stuck. That was many of y'all favorite wrestler. But in no fucking way possible do I sit here, even as not a fan, and even to people that I was fans of, like people are throwing out Chris Benoit and all that. Chris Benoit, amazing wrestler. Fuck all of that as soon as you decided to unalive your wife and your child. I don't care what you did good. when you became a shit human being. I don't care. Terry Bollea. People want to try to separate, oh, that wasn't Hulk, that was Terry. No, I'm sorry. When you run under a moniker, especially under public events as Hulk Hogan your entire life, for probably a good 50 plus years of your life, there's no separating the two. You're one and the same. Like, this isn't you can separate Bill Cosby from Heathcliff Huxtable. Like, what Heathcliff Huxtable, the character, did for portraying positive blackness on television, for the spin-off of A Different World, getting a lot of black kids into going to college, period, let alone HBCUs. That weight holds different. But then when you find out he was a sex pest, you're not wrong for saying, fuck all of that. Fuck all you're good. You're not wrong for that. But this guy, Terry, his flagrant use of the word nigga.
Not
Who
bad.
got the Indian ring? Who got the Indian ringtone? Like
That's,
Bollywood ass shit.
oh no, that's
No, that
Top
But
was
Gun.
Top Gun. That was Top Gun.
but you know, the excuses given, and this is one thing people haven't been bringing up. Allegedly, Lil Wayne allowed you to say nigga around him. It was just when that moment happened, it was like, who the fuck Lil Wayne to allow
I
how
forgot
he
about that.
feel about that shit?
Facts.
That shit just triggered me now. I remembered that shit.
I'm
You
about to
know,
say, don't
to
don't don't get me started on Lil Wayne, man, because
you know,
he's a bozo on himself, man. But please, go
yeah,
ahead, man.
yeah. But to see how much of a shitbag he was to his former wife, to see how much of a shitbag he was to his daughter, for his daughter to fucking pretty much disown him,
Mm.
for his daughter to pretty much disown him, talking about I would rather her date a black man if it was an 8 foot nigga in the NBA making $1 billion or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? To going off the offense of when his son had that freaking fatal car crash, was almost in that near fatal car crash, and to say that the friend that he was with, oh, I hope he comes. If he dies, I hope he comes back as a black man and lives through all that karma and shit like that. To go through all of that shit, and then the ultimate thing of like to be in the locker room where you could have amongst wrestlers to where you could have fixed your image, say tons of good grace behind you, and instead of apologizing and owning up for all the bad you did, you teach these wrestlers just don't get caught on camera saying it.
Wow,
Fuck you.
what an apology.
Fuck you. So Kurt, go ahead, have at this shit because I know this is what you wanted to be here for, man. Have at this shit.
Well, I just want to say I didn't grow up idolizing Hulk Hogan. I didn't even grow up watching WWF. I grew up watching NWA, which turned into what WCW. When Hogan did finally come over to WCW, of course I was watching it as that was my go-to promotion. I wasn't really impressed with what he was doing. I'm not saying it was bad or anything, but it just didn't move me to say, "Oh man, this dude is. I see why he's so awesome." Now, when he switched over to and joined the NWO or whatever, that's when I started liking him or kind of checking for him. I thought the NWO was like the best thing going until pretty much the whole WCW joined the NWO. And then
Agreed.
I'm sure you see I post a lot of stuff related to wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. I've actually had people inbox me and say, how come you ain't posting nothing about Hulk Hogan? I've had people that I work with ask me, hey, you ain't said nothing about Hulk Hogan, he died or whatever. And I said, I don't wish any ill on him or his family or anything, but he's just not one of the guys that, besides the NWO, which I did like. I love Scott Hall. That's one of my favorite wrestlers. Besides that, I just didn't really care for Hogan, and especially outside of the ring. after finding out, what he was pillow talking with one of his best friend's wives or something like that. I
Banging
don't
Bubba
even,
the Love Sponge's wife.
yeah. So it's just it's funny that people thought I was gonna post something. I guess they assume, if I post about wrestling, then I love everything about wrestling. But I just thought it was funny that people were assuming or expecting me to post some type of, immemorial or 21 gun salute or Hogan. But I just really wanted to be on here. Even if y'all wouldn't have me on here, which I really appreciated, I would have tuned in just to hear what y'all had to say about it. So, y'all have at it, man. And a lot of stuff, be honest with you, a lot of stuff I didn't even know or remember. Like when you brought up that Lil Wayne thing, I totally forgot all about that, man. I saw you posted something the other day about other stuff that he's done, and I didn't even click on it because I figured you would talk all about it today anyway. So I'm sure it's a lot of stuff I'm not even hip to that Hogan has done that, I think they said he tried to take credit for the George Foreman grill or something like that.
Yep, he lied about
So
that. He lied.
yeah,
He
so
lied about. He lied about being in the running to be a bassist for Metallica. Now he was a. Now was he a good bass player? Absolutely. Like he was a good bass player,
excuse me.
but he lied about the whole fucking. He lied about the whole Metallica bullshit. He and listen, he wouldn't have left fucking the millions and millions of dollars that he made in professional wrestling to go fucking tour with Metallica. You're out your fucking mind. But Jamal,
Um, yeah, it's the conclusion of a life squandered away with this human being. That at that point, I was a big Hulk Hogan fan as a kid. I was 7, 8 years old. I saw him in the Garden millions of times, on his rise up. I was there, the marketing worked on me. I had the LJN or the rubber wrestling figures with the ring and all that shit. You know what I mean? Watched the cartoon. You know, as a young kid, liked Hulk Hogan. Millions of kids grew up, who came up in that era of wrestling. Liking Hulk Hogan, and so that's it. He ceased to be Hulk Hogan and became Terry Bollea to me, as for other folks, when he started the fuck shit. And he was not a nice human being. They always say you shouldn't say bad things when people die. It's not. It's literally his legacy. He did all the things. It's literally who he was. That just doesn't go away. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to shit on anybody because they're dead. No, but what I'm saying is, you can still speak on the things he did. The things he did are shitty enough, and he was not a good human being. He's a fucking ardent, unrepentant racist. Got up on that stage at the Republican convention. There's a reason why he was there.
Mm-hmm.
They put him there, right, for his views. He kept, just kept doubling down on stuff. He did horrible stuff to his friends. He did horrible stuff to his family. He's a despicable man. That's a dude who seems like he could not survive when his moment in the sun was no longer there, and just went right. No, take most of those folks in this machine get 15 minutes. He had a long ass run, and it just seems like, I don't know. At his core, he just was a fucked up individual, and whatever. So I'm not going to mourn. No one's mourning his death who's outside his family or who has like minded folks like him. But no, he was a horribly despicable individual,
yep.
and facts is just facts.
I mean, it is so bad at how bad of a person is. Macho Man cut a diss track on him. Be a man,
Mm-hmm.
Hulk. Be a man,
Yo,
Hulk.
the the fucked up shit he did outweighs the good things. You know, did he make a difference? Did he move that needle in the early '80s and mid '80s when him against Iron Sheik and all that? Yes. It made wrestling, I guess, crossover. The Saturday morning cartoons and all that. Yes, all that is true. Mhm. But he was Jesse the Body. You know, I think he was one of the first ones to really break out, the news that he's not a good person.
Mm.
By him telling that story with him in the union. And just things just started. You start seeing more and more about this guy. Yeah. And us black people, man, we're not. I don't want to. We're definitely not a monolith. But if you go on social media, man, you see a lot of us saying, yeah, yeah, he died, but fuck him, like, oh well, but yo, what about this Malcolm Jamal Warner thing? Like, it's
Hmm.
we really didn't care, man, and it showed, and
Right.
rightfully so.
And even with all like TJ and Tyrone, I'm saving you for last on purpose, but TJ, I mean, like, even with all that, like, people are trying to say, oh, we can't act like he didn't work with black people, things like that. Like, yeah, okay. If you working with people for money on a certain level, some people know how to suck it up. Like, it makes the Mr. T relationship look a certain way. It makes the running with Dennis Rodman and Shaq and all of these people, it makes you look a certain way where it's like the famous scene from Do the Right Thing of like, yeah, but that's magic.
Yeah,
That's magic, like that he's bigger than he transcends. Like he's just, it's a 40-year-old virgin quote, like, he's I don't want to say don't be a nigga, be my nigga, but that's kind of how he was running. It was like these are my niggas because they on my pay scale, but everybody else you are hard ER.
yeah,
Yeah, look, I grew up in that era with Iron Sheik, Hulk,
Hmm.
Andre the Giant, Sergeant Slaughter. So Hulk Hogan was a big deal to me in my younger days. But as you grow older, they always say your heroes are gonna let you down, right? You know what I'm saying? The people that you thought were cool and all this other shit. Then you start finding out shit. You start hearing it. It just starts like always saying. Start hearing more and more about it. Then he starts. Then he starts getting blatant with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't give a fuck at some point. So you're like, really? Was this dude really like this? And then you start hearing stories like what Jesse was talking about with trying to form a union and stuff like that. It was just crazy, 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 crazy. And the fact that I guess you could say he got away with it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really checked this dude, like ever. You know, I mean, yeah, he got called out, but he was still on TV. Like he never got canceled. If somebody should have been canceled, that dude should have been canceled. You know what I'm saying? But he never got that. He never got that treatment. For some reason, he never got that treatment.
you look at it,
And
and you ask yourself, yo, why the hell did the WWE bring him back?
It was a cash cow.
And that's yeah, mascot. And that's where he did get canceled because when the whole nigga tirade happened 10 years ago, which again, the irony of him dying on the day of his nigga tirade when the tape got leaked out, WWE cut ties with him, removed him from the Hall of Fame, yada yada yada, and then eventually they just slid him back in, and they just allowed it to be like time served, and then just allowed him back in. But he technically was canceled from the WWE for some years, for a while. You know what I'm saying? But still. Still, they brought him back, and to show that he was canceled, Tyrone, because I know you was watching probably when it happened.
Yep.
When he came back with his Real American Piss Water, him and Jimmy Hart got booed off the fucking stage,
He got a great send
like
off.
like Brian just said.
Yep.
And the last appearance he made in the WWE, he got booed out the building. Absolutely, because fans nowadays are a little more aware than the days of old, where again, we are all of that era where even in our households, man, don't worry about that shit. Just push that shit to the side. Man, don't worry about that shit. And a lot of people have been taking this moment for, where a person like myself, like I said, I've been going in after today's episode, I'm done. Like he don't deserve this energy no more because he gone. He gone. But to again, I couldn't be the one to sit back and be like, nah, like no, this motherfucker did all this shit. And like Jamal said, yeah, it's a part of the legacy. It's a part of who you were as a person. Right. Ed said Hogan embraced MAGA to make his comeback. The temperature was right. Racism allowed to operate openly, allowed for his comeback. Oh, you just hate his politics. Nah, it wasn't just the politics. It was more than the politics, Tyrone.
Hey, one thing I want to ask y'all: do y'all think
Okay.
he doesn't have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame because of that video? I would think he,
Absolutely.
Vince McMahon has one. I would think Hulk Hogan would have had one by now.
Well, the way I've learned about that Hollywood Walk of Fame thing, somebody has to sponsor you and then pay for that star,
Yes.
which I think it's like 10 to like
Yeah, it's about 60
30,000 for that
grand.
star. Oh, there you
Nah,
go, 60.
it's like 60. When I was the last time I was out there, I got a little education on it. Somebody has to sponsor it or do it. You can't do it yourself. Somebody has to put up the money and sponsor you. And if you're famous enough or you're known enough, you'll get that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's how it operates. But
Right.
ain't nobody lining up to do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ever. And Hollywood Walk of Fame people would be like, nah, we don't need that. We don't need that.
Like that was something he should have got in
On
the 80s. Like he
Yeah,
could have got that in the 80s when it was
yes.
all fresh and nobody
Yeah.
didn't know about all the nigga
Yeah.
tirades and the nigga fits that he had.
Right.
So
Right.
go ahead, Tyrone.
Absolutely.
I'm so I'm gonna do my Hulkamania podcast because, and I wasn't going to do it, but because of my stance and because I do wrestling content and because I do a lot of content on wrestling and I'm an avid wrestling fan, and despite him being racist, despite everything that people are talking about, Hulk Hogan passing away is a big wrestling story, and I've already made my peace with how I feel about Hulk Hogan. I've already stood on business on what I said about him, and so yeah, I'm going to do it. But this is in no way support of Hulk Hogan. This is in no way me giving him a pass for anything that he's done. This is in no way me, you know, champion for the white man or being a pick me nigga. This is just I'm always going to be my true 100% authentic self. And my true 100% authentic self does not have a problem with people saying fuck Hulk Hogan. Does not have a problem with black people being mad at Hulk Hogan. Does not even come to the defense of Hulk Hogan. He ain't my family member. He ain't my brother. He ain't my cousin. He ain't nothing. I don't know him. I didn't know Terry Bollea in real life. I don't care about the man like that enough to be like, don't say fuck Hulk Hogan or to be like rest in peace Hulk Hogan or none of that. And I respect everybody else's opinion. But for me, I am one of those people that has the ability and how I feel to separate Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea. And I've told you guys this before. That's how I view it. I talk about Hulk Hogan as a character, only as it pertains to wrestling. I don't talk about Hulk Hogan outside of wrestling and nothing. I don't even talk about Hulk Hogan outside of wrestling like TV shows. I talk about Hulk Hogan only in pertaining to wrestling. Outside of wrestling, that man's Terry Bollea, and he's a piece of shit.
Hold up. I got a question. Hey Dan, how far can we go back on these shows, man? I don't remember. What was Tyrone's stance on R. Kelly again?
What'd you say?
What was the stance on R. Kelly again? Was
You
it?
said what was his stance on R. Kelly?
Was it?
I think he said he didn't stop playing the music.
Oh, okay.
I think.
All right.
Am I wrong, Tyrone?
Right.
Okay.
I'm taking
Now,
a stand.
I don't want to cut your wisdom that tough, but like again, I just want you to remember, just like I wanted other people to remember. All this stuff that he did, especially all the nigga tirades, was under Hulk Hogan. This is why I say like there was no separation of the two. This was all under Hulk. Everybody in the world called him Hulk Hogan. Nobody called him his real name except for people like me, who once I realized how much of a shitbag he was no, I could never say Hulk Hogan again. I only started saying it again because he died and because of this moment that we're in.
You
But
brought that
all of
up
the
to me
shit that
before.
all the bad that he's done was all under Hulk Hogan.
You brought that up to me before. That's why I'm saying that Hulk Hogan to me is just wrestling. Ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing else about Hulk Hogan for me. Hulk Hogan to me is just Hulk Hogan, training periods, vitamins, wrestler. That's all that name Hulk Hogan means to me. Hulk Hogan, a human being, that's Terry Bollea. I don't know that man. I don't care about that man. He's a piece of shit, whatever. So I'm one of those people. Now, I know you don't agree with that concept. You don't have to. But that's my concept. Hulk Hogan, when I hear the name Hulk Hogan, all I think about is bam, 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 bam. I think about the leg drop. I think about the NWO. That's it. I don't think about Hulk Hogan as a real person. I
disagree. I disagree.
But that's what I think.
You know,
You
and I feel as though once he busted the union, right? Once he gave that shit apology, now Terry Bollea and Hulk Hogan's melded together. You know, but you know what I'm saying, because it's not an act. This is who he is. You know what I'm saying, and so I get what you're saying. You know, and we're in the same age bracket where we remember the whole Iron Sheik thing, and like I said, and the eat your vitamins and all that, and the cereal and the Saturday. Yeah, so Hulk Hogan was romanticized in you know in our growing up, but once you start looking back, you're like, okay, yo, this dude was a piece of shit. You know
Right,
what I'm
and
saying? I
all of
mean,
that
and
you
it's
said, all of that you said had happened as Hulk Hogan, the wrestler,
yes,
backstage.
right. We just didn't know. You know, but we're seeing this through rose-colored glasses. I mean, it's different. I don't know. To me, it's different.
And you see, for me, it's not because I've had. Okay, I'll put it to you in this aspect. I was a big fan of Macho Man. I think that Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. He just said that he was a big fan of
My man.
Scott Hall. He just said he was a big fan of Scott Hall, right? And all of those wrestlers I just named, Macho Man, Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, well, all got stories and rumors of being pieces of shit in that back locker room. Stories and rumors of them being drug addicts, alcoholics, and real pieces of shit in that locker room. And I'm saying to you, my wrestling fandom doesn't include none of that. I don't care about nothing about them being human beings because they don't affect me as human beings. Whatever they do in their real life, that's their real life. I don't really give a shit. I only care about the wrestling. If you say I said Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time, and people are like Shawn Michaels was on drugs, Shawn Michaels was doing all kinds of shit behind the scenes, whatever.
But
Okay, that's fine. That's
but
fine. That
being a
don't got
drug
nothing to do
addict
with
or
my wrestling
alcoholic
fandom.
only hurts himself. He was hurting other people's
Right.
livelihoods.
He's a shitty human being. I
You
agree.
can't blame a drug addict for that shit. A drug addict takes all the blame for the shit
You're,
they did to themselves, bro.
I'm
Well,
not.
And
kill the
if you
man.
want to bring up Shawn Michaels, with the one name that we get attached to it is Sonny and Chris Candido, and how he fucking destroyed the relationship backstage also. But
Yeah,
keep going.
I'm not. I'm not advocating for these people as human beings. I'm not advocating for Hulk Hogan as a human being. In fact, I'm not advocating for Hulk Hogan at all. I'm just saying that when I talk about Hulk Hogan, the only conversations I have about that man is really wrestling. And outside of wrestling, I don't talk about him. And the real fact of the matter is that Hulk, you're right, Dan. You're right. Hulk Hogan didn't know how to not be a star once his light went out. Once his minutes was over, he didn't know how to be a star. Because for me, if I'm going to be caught and I'm going to be in some racism shit and I'm going to get canceled, you make your apology and you go away. Why would you come back and put yourself in more scrutiny and try to come back? No, you make your apology and you go away. Hulk Hogan should have went somewhere and sat his ass down. And he didn't. He decided to try to get back in the WWE. He decided to do the fake apology bullshit. He decided to get back in the WWE and come out and still try to promote and be there. And he shouldn't have did none of that. He shouldn't have
And
did
you
none of
do
that.
strange things for the money when the well
I'm
runs
just
dry.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he shouldn't have did none of that. He
Yeah.
fucked himself over. He's a bad person. But I'm saying that I still do have that sense of Hulkamania, I still do have that sense of the wrestling part of it. And so that's what I want to talk about. And I'm not champion for Hulk Hogan, and I'm not saying rest in peace, and I'm not saying my condolences to his family and none of that. And I'm also not arguing with nobody who wants to say fuck Hulk Hogan. If you have a right to and all that. And the thing that I was saying when I brought up the Lil Wayne thing is simple. Hulk Hogan was so, I don't understand why black people are not adamant about the fact that this man was comfortable enough to not only admit to saying the N-word, but he was also comfortable enough to tell the whole world that Lil Wayne gave him permission to do it. And all the vitriol, all the hate, everything was spewed. Hulk Hogan's a racist, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan. And I just felt like, as black people, we didn't hold Lil Wayne accountable for that situation at all. We just let my man slide on that, and I didn't like that.
Wrong. Because when it happened, I definitely wasn't one of them people. Because once again, I said, who the fuck is Lil Wayne to allow this for all people to feel the same? And yes, people were talking about that shit when it happened, when he mentioned it on the Howard Stern, I believe. And he mentioned, oh,
Yeah.
I say it around Lil Wayne and all that stuff all the time, whatever. And if they are, it goes back to the whole thing of like, what's that chick's name? Krayshawn from I think she's from Oakland or whatever.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal about her saying the word nigga and things like that. And she said it not in like a, see again, she wasn't saying it like how Terry was using it in nigger. Like she was on some like, this is what my neighborhood says. My neighborhood gives me the cosign. But she forgot, you don't say that shit outside your fucking neighborhood. Don't let others know that this is happening when you're not supposed to let that shit leave your neighborhood. The problem with Terry is, again, Terry's thing was, no, you niggers, get the fuck away from me. Like, it was that type shit. It was that type
Also,
shit. It was malicious. It hurt feelings. It did. Yo, to have your daughter disown you because of how vile of a fucking human being you are. That says a lot about you as a character. And again,
Yeah.
the character of Hulk Hogan is the same person as Terry Bollea, because nobody in the 50 plus years of him running as Hulk Hogan called him anything but Hulk Hogan. Nobody called him Terry. We
Like I
all looked
said,
at it as the
like I said
same
before,
person.
you're not walking down the street and saying, "Hey, there's Terry Bollea." You're saying that's Hulk Hogan, bro. You're not walking down the street and, oh, that's Terry Bollea. People are like, who? Who the fuck is Terry Bollea?
hey, also, how can you be 50, 60 something years old trying to get permission or validation from someone to say the N-word? Like Hogan,
Right.
he was 71. He was around during the civil rights era. So I'm like, bro, like, how could you even think that's cool to seek validation or get approval to even say that shit? That shit just don't make no sense, man.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, facts.
At all. But ultimately, though, go ahead.
There's no wrestler that that's popular people. There's no wrestler that does that. Like nobody know. Like half the wrestlers didn't know Macho. No, most people don't even know Macho Man's real name. Most people don't know Shawn Michaels' real name. You know what I mean? So that's any wrestler. They're going to get called by their wrestler name. They don't
I'm
have to
glad
be.
you said. I'm glad you said most people.
I'm not talking to you, Dan. I'm saying most people.
Sean Higginbottom.
I'm just saying most
Michael
people know.
His name is Michael Hickenbottom, and Randy is Randy Poffo.
Yeah, but most people don't know that. So it ain't a Hulk Hogan thing that wrestlers are known as their wrestling personas. That's every wrestler that's popular. They're known by their wrestling personas. Like, so that's not a Hulk Hogan thing. And like I said, I don't like, even with the Chris Benoit thing, people want to be like, oh, don't talk about Chris Benoit. And I'm like, Chris Benoit is still one of the top 20 wrestlers. If I made a top 20 wrestler list, Chris Benoit is going on my list. And that don't mean I support him. That don't mean I'm an advocate for him. That don't mean I love him. That don't mean that I approve what he did. He's a piece of shit, whatever the case may be. But I still can separate the fact that in wrestling only, Chris Benoit is a top 20 dude.
So Tyrone, you wouldn't cancel anybody, then, right? In other sense, in any sense, then you you wouldn't cancel anybody then, right?
No,
matter
you
what
can
they
cancel. No, you can cancel them, but you can't. I'm saying canceling is like this. Boom. Okay, we cancel Hulk Hogan. We can cancel Chris Benoit. That means they're canceled. That means like they can't make any more money doing what they're doing. That means that people are not going to support them if they do a podcast. You're not going to listen. If they start doing new stuff, you're not going to support it. Blah blah blah. Yeah, you cancel them in that manner. You do. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, "Oh, I'm not going to watch WrestleMania 20." Or
So
I'm
let me ask you this.
when we get to Chris
Let me ask
Benoit.
you this. Let me ask
That's
you this.
old. That's what he's
If
done.
you get kicked out of the Wrestling Hall of Fame, you cannot be in no list as a top 25 wrestler. You
You're gonna be on
can't.
my list. You're gonna be on my list.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
Nah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can be on my list because I'm not taking away what you've done as a wrestler just because you did something shitty as a human being. Like I said, I can separate that shit. I'm one of those people.
Saying, I'm sorry, Jamal, go ahead.
No, it's all good. I mean, I see what Ty's saying. I mean, as an artist, I have to be able to do that too. I get what he's saying. What we're saying, Ty, at least from my end, is no one's taking away Terry Bollea's accomplishments. It's just like the same thing with any other person who's achieved a lot. I mean, you can't erase what actually happened. It's not history. Just saying, there's no love lost, there's no sleep, there's no celebration of life for this dude. He's gone and get rinsed.
So
Right.
Jamal,
But my thing towards this though is it's like, to me, there's certain levels of bad, there's certain levels of evil that no matter what you've done, it erases that. Like, to me, that it erases that. And there's certain things that it's just there's no recovering from. I'm sorry, there's no recovering from. And when your blatant racist tirades go this far for this long, it's like, nah, yeah, you're right. We're not caping for him at all in this passing, not one bit. And I understand you can have your stance on, yeah, but he did. I will say it. The man helped the wrestling business get to where it is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right.
But like you said, from the start of being a union buster to the nigga tirades that came to life, it's like, okay, thank you for your service, but fuck you and fuck your life.
yeah, it's the same.
And to me, it erases it. Just it to me. Well, I can't say erases. Let me not say erase. It eclipses. It
So,
eclipses whatever good you've done, and it's
okay.
hard for me to sometimes push that aside, depending on the person.
All right, and then here's how I see it. You said you did all of this good stuff. You was a good wrestler, all this good wrestler stuff, but fuck you.
I never said he was a good wrestler.
I know. I'm not just saying whatever. Whatever he done, you said all that, and then your butt was fuck you, fuck your life, right? And me, I'm the same way, but it's just a little bit reversed. It's Terry Bollea, fuck you, fuck your life, but here's what you did in wrestling. So it's the same thing. It's just flipped. That's for me. It's flipped the other way. It's yeah, fuck you, fuck your life. You was a shitty person, but I can talk about this part.
So
wrestling is good.
So Tyrone, I have a question. So all the bad stuff, like the union busting, the M bombs and all that, would you agree that overshadowed the good things that he did early in his career, as far as to the sports entertainment field and all that?
Because that's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's
Right.
what I'm talking about.
That's
Like,
what
to
we're
say,
saying.
because
Yes.
what this equates to is, Hitler was a great artist.
Right.
Yes. Here's how I can explain it. It changes the perspective for me like this. There was a time before, all that shit overweighs all that shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm not mad if people say fuck Hulk Hogan, fuck wrestling, fuck everything he did. I'm not mad if that's your perspective. I get it. I understand that. And for you, it overshadows all that. It takes all that away. Right? That's cool. For me, it changes in the sense of when I was a kid and I talked about Hulk Hogan, and when I was young and I talked about Hulk Hogan, and before all this shit came out that I talked about Hulk Hogan, I talked about Hulk Hogan wrestling. I talked about Hulk Hogan. I loved Hulk Hogan. I bought Hulk Hogan clothes. I wore Hulk Hogan shirts. I had Hulk Hogan toys. I watched the cartoons. When I talked about Hulk Hogan, there was an endearment there. There was a
Yeah.
love there. There was a passion for Hulk Hogan that I had. Now, all that's gone. The passion is gone. The love is gone. The endearment is gone. I'm not going to wear a Hulkamania shirt. You know what I'm saying? All that's gone. What it is now is strictly, okay, this is still what he did for wrestling. So when I bring Hulk Hogan up
So
now, it's just strictly what he did for wrestling. But I don't have the passion for him. I don't have an endearment for him no
so
more.
so a point of this is in the way fans are taking this is the fan doesn't want to tarnish their childhood. They don't want to dirty and muddy up their memories of somebody. Which
Right.
again,
Right.
I understand. I understand on the level of, okay, you were a hardcore fan of certain things, and I, cool. They gave you great moments and great moments of joy and things like that. But then it's to me, it's okay to reflect and be like, but yeah, but this person is a piece of shit. And that's what you're saying right now. That's exactly what you're saying right now is yes, I understand this man is a piece of shit. I'm still holding this part of my childhood to my heart. But yes, I know ultimately the man is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I just personally, again, when it comes to a person like him, he blurred the lines of who he was between Terry and Hulk decades ago. So it's to me, it's impossible to separate the two. And then the bad for me eclipsed all the quote unquote air quotes good one thinks he did. It just it happens like that with a lot of people. It just comes to a point where it don't matter. Like we mentioning R. Kelly again. You fucked with children. I don't give a fuck if you made people step in the name of love. You're a nasty motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my life. No longer a fan. No longer doing none of your shit. If his music comes on and I don't have the control to turn it off, then so be it. But I'm not gonna, it's a thing of like you just said, Tyrone. We're not gonna actively go and be a part of again, just because this nigga made me do a line dance or I sung, well, not our era, but the era right underneath us was singing. I believe I could fly at graduations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck all of that.
I
To
got
me, there's a certain point where it, no matter what good you did no matter what good you did, sometimes it can all be erased.
I guess I guess I don't have the mental I guess I might not have the mental capacity for what you're talking about, Dan, in the sense of if R. Kelly came out with a new song or a new album or a new something, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to go out and buy an R. Kelly album. I don't want to hear an R. Kelly song. If R. Kelly gets out of prison, I'm not paying for tickets to go to an R. Kelly concert. I'm not telling my kids about R. Kelly. I'm not trying to promote R. Kelly in any way whatsoever moving forward. But if I'm in the house and an R. Kelly song comes on, I don't have the mental capacity to say, "Oh, that's R. Kelly song. I like that song. I like listening to it, but it's an R. Kelly song, so I'm gonna turn it off." I don't have that mental capacity. I go, "Okay, I like this song. I enjoy this song. I can listen to this song." I don't support R. Kelly. I'm not a champion for him. I won't support him moving forward. I'm not even going to listen to his new shit. But this song I like. I can listen to it. I don't have the capacity to turn it off. Just like when I go back, I watch all my old WrestleManias. I watch all my old wrestling. It's not in my mind to go, "Oh no, Hulk Hogan's match is coming up. I'm gonna turn this shit off." No, I enjoyed that match. I like that match. I can watch that match and still be like, "Yo, Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit," but I still like this match.
Yeah,
Hulk
I
Hogan.
I
Hulk
get what
Hogan.
you're saying.
Hulk Hogan is the epitome of this didn't age well. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the epitome
But
of it right there.
to
This
me
did
though,
not
like
age well.
all of this shit is it's really not that hard.
But
It's
then
really not that hard to do because it don't it like trust me when I tell you it none of this shit weighs no like his passing had weighed nothing on me.
but
But
that's what
I'm going to tell you I did call out all the bad shit because I've always did it. It wasn't out of my character. This wasn't out of my realm. And for some shit like if like for me, Fab is a good rapper. I'm not listening to him. If I could flip the switch, I'm flipping the switch because I'm not a fan. But there's certain times when his joints are on a mix show on the radio or something. All right, I know it's not going to be on that long. Let me deal because that
Um,
DJ is going to change. I understand. So I understand, but it's for me the ultimate thing, and then we gonna wrap. Is just this is the person who himself has not separated the two, and
um,
so I'm not going to separate the two personally.
but that,
And
and then
ultimately, go ahead.
I think that you and Curtis may understand because Curtis touched on it earlier. Curtis was saying that he posts a lot of wrestling content, and he's a wrestling person on social media. He talks about wrestling stuff. So he said it himself. People expected him to say things about Hulk Hogan. And that's why I'm doing my podcast because I'm getting that same kind of thing. I'm getting, or you ain't gonna say nothing about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan dying is a big wrestling thing. You talk about wrestling, you do wrestling commentary, and people are saying this to me. People that I know in life are texting me about it, talking to me about it, and I'm going like, yeah, if I'm gonna stand on business, I'm willing to stand on business. And so yeah, that's really why I'm going to still do my episode because I'm like, this is a big wrestling thing, and I don't have to say rest in peace. I don't have to send condolences. I don't have to champion for him, and I don't have to make excuses for him. And I can still stand on my business and my opinions and do my podcast. And so that's
And
why
and, and no, ain't nobody be mad if you acknowledge it.
you know.
I mean,
The point though surrounding this whole conversation and what TJ said was the best way to wrap this was this didn't age well. And
yeah.
like Jamal had mentioned earlier, you know, this is what you left behind. So this is now what we have to go off of. And so it brings the point of again, protect your legacy. While you're alive, just continue to try to be a good human being to where you can't catch this thrashing that the world has been given in your passing.
I know you said we're gonna wrap, but before we wrap, I just really wanted to make this point about the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner, right? And I'm not saying that I'm glad that he died. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is like I don't want this to be misconstrued. But what I'm saying is I'm just happy that it was a rip current. And I know that sounds crazy, but in this world today, when
Yeah, that
when we
sounds
got
absurd.
yeah, but hear me out though. In this world today, where we got young 50-year-old, he was only 54. So in this world today, where we got a 54-year-old in Hollywood that's been on TV his whole life and been acting and got money and is a black man in the community, and he passes away, it's usually the stories of conspiracy theories. He didn't want to be gay. The Illuminati killed him. He was a drug addict. He got robbed and shot in the street. It's all negativity. And I'm just relieved that this man's passing away, even though it's a terrible thing, was a legit accident. And so we don't have to go into any negative aspects of this black man's life. You know what I'm saying? We can celebrate what he did, and we don't have to worry about any negativity on it. We don't have to dispute drug use. We don't have to worry about another black man shooting him and taking his life. We don't have to worry about the conspiracy theories and Illuminati and all the bullshit that usually comes with somebody in Hollywood dying at this age. And we can just go, hey, man, rest in peace to my man, and we can keep it, and we can reflect on his life and keep it positive. You know,
what you're saying is the exact topic of the show, his legacy. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The man left his legacy behind, and it was flawless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
He left behind a great legacy.
Now, one could say that the flat Earth Illuminati, they tried to scratch the record, but we're not trying to sit here and make fun of his death. But I
Even the
get
flat
what you're
Earth
saying,
man.
and
Did you see my meme about the flat Earth?
I think I did. Yeah,
I
I was the
thought,
one who posted. I was the one who posted the
Oh yeah,
comment
yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're the only
Yo,
community who thinks the world spins on a Technique
I didn't
1200.
I didn't realize that was going to bring out the Know the Ledge people. You know what I'm saying? Like I never saw it. I didn't expect that response. I was just doing it as a joke.
Well,
And then you
there
get
must have been
people on there that like,
comments that Nah, there must have been comments that I didn't see because when you said that, I think everybody on the thing was more talking about how ridiculous flat Earth is.
Nah, there was then Ray Hagemeyer jumped on. I haven't seen that dude's name in like for years.
Oh well,
And he
well,
jumped on.
well.
He
That
Ray,
and then a
motherfucker wears
couple other
Trump,
people jumped on.
Ray gonna have
Yeah,
TJ
and then
deported.
right? Ray wears Trump underoos, and a lot of people have been saying that
that
the
was good,
wrong
Curtis.
orange. A lot of people have been saying that the wrong orange person was taken away. And with that being said, Jamal, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Yo, peace to listeners, peace to everybody in the comments. Peace to Curtis. Thanks for coming on today, bro. Ed in the comments. Shout out to TJ Lispa, Big O, Mayor. As always, shout out to Hooks Rub and Dubby. Peace to Ishar, peace to Disabled Planners, and peace to Ill Magic.
Kurt.
Real quick, I think one thing that really hurts Hogan, Diddy, and R. Kelly is that we have video and audio evidence of what they did. So I think maybe if we didn't actually see it and hear it, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But
1000%.
anyway, I
Facts.
appreciate y'all having me on, man. This was a very interesting show. Y'all had me laughing the whole time. Everything super, super duper in tune. Like I was really engaged listening. The comments were awesome. Ed, the other guys, I think his name is Brian, Midtown and NWA. Love the comments, man. This is a really good episode, man. And once again, I appreciate y'all having me on. Peace.
CJ.
Yeah, man, another good show. Peace for coming on, Curtis. This was dope. Comments was dope today. It was very engaged. Everybody, spoke their piece. Lispa usually, as usual, stood on his soapbox, and got what he had to get off his chest, loud and proud as he always is. But yeah, this was a dope show. Good to see you back, Jay, Ty, O, the mayor. Looking forward to next week. It's gonna be another solid show.
Tyrone.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm loud. I'm loud. I'm loud and I'm proud. And I'm loud and I'm proud on my show. I'm loud and I'm proud in real life. And I don't get a lot of opportunities to be loud and proud and not be judged by it. So I appreciate being here with you gentlemen that accept my loudness, accept my proudness. And like I said, I know I've been putting a lot of hooks, rubs, and spices on my food lately because the crow sandwich don't taste too good, but I eat them, and I probably eat those Jones too. So we don't have a problem here, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate Curtis showing up because I don't know if he knows, but in the podcast world, a lot of people talk that talk but don't walk that walk. A lot of people can get on here and comment and talk that shit, but when you say, "Hey, put a face to it," when you say show up to the show, then it's always something they got to do. So I appreciate you saying you're going to be here and being able to voice your opinions and say what you want to say as a man to our faces, you know what I'm saying, with your chest and all that. I really do appreciate when guests actually do what guests say they're going to do. You know what I mean? So I thank you for coming on, brother. And
Yeah, man. Yo, special shout out to the listeners, man. All those commenting on the show, man. Y'all make it. Y'all. I love the interaction, man. And yeah, man. Shout out to Curtis, man, for guest on today, man. You always welcome back. Shout out to my boy Tyrone, man, for making me think of this Groundhog Day, man. Spending a special time talking about the shit we was talking about last week. So that was fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here checking my calendar and shit, but man, yo, it's
I only went back to that because this shit happened as soon as we got done last week. The press conference with Kelsey Plum happened after that, and Clarissa's fight was last night. So
I could have swore we talked about that last week, though, man.
We did talk about it last week, but then after her fight last night, it put another perspective on it. That's all.
Okay.
Nah, last week was about the WNBA All-Star game.
and
Yeah,
the shirts.
yeah, but then this week, Kels, but the press conference happened after our show, so that was a
You're
new.
gonna be our special correspondent, man, on women's sports, man.
I would
I just
love
want
to
you
do
to know
that.
that, man.
That would be my new job. We could do that
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah,
Before we
absolutely.
even start, we all do the introductions now. I'm gonna do my commentary on women's sports. I would love that.
Absolutely, man. That's your niche, man. That's gonna be your niche. But nah, man, yo, great show, man. I can't wait till next week, man.
Special shout out to O for beating all you niggas here today.
That's right.
Whoa.
He was first.
That's right.
O was first, you know.
That's amazing.
Before game.
That's amazing.
Big shouts out to, once again, our sponsors and affiliate, Hooks Rub, using the code START5, 20% off your order, hooksrub.com, 10% off your order using the code START5 at Dubby. Yeah, shouts out to the music in the background. And no shouts out to people who are assholes, especially in this world. And it's so easy to be a good person. It's just so easy to be a good person, and that's the best way to just protect your legacy. However you
I
choose to be a good person, just be that.
I think that's a great thing to end the show on, man. Just be a good person, man. You know, have have good things for people to talk about you when, you know, at your funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like people should not be. It should be very easy to make to do a eulogy on you. You know.
Yeah, and not
Listen,
have. Go ahead, TJ.
listen. If you're that type of asshole, nobody's coming to the funeral to speak at any eulogy.
That's right.
There will be no eulogy. There will be no eulogy.
I'm
Or-
coming for the open bar. I want the
Right, or you could have a Jimmy Hart standing on stage wiping tears from the front of his sunglasses. And then that being said, we out.
Oh God.